I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. Welcome, SigneLise, to this Divine Design podcast.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here talking English.
Yes.
We are both Norwegians. You live in the very far north. I live in the very south, but we are connected.
We are connected, and you found me kind of 1 year ago, so it is we have known each other for a year, and you have participated in both the programs Divinima Reset I have done, and this is Divine Design podcast, and the intention is kind of how to live a soul life, our next step divinity. And I asked you if you would make a podcast because I have followed you through your next step divinity, because when you started you were 76 years and you said, I have never gone to any courses, I have never done anything like that, and then you have taken my courses and you say that your life have transformed radically.
Well, my spiritual life has transformed. I mean, I live the life I used to before, like mother, grandmother, etc., life partner, but the spiritual life has changed. It has been 76 years before and 1 year after. You see what I mean? It's changed changed a lot. I feel that I'm still on my path, of course, and but the way I was thinking before I met you on YouTube, where you told me that you should have a course, Divinima Reset.
Yeah.
I just ran to the computer, this thing, and wrote to you that I would like to participate. And so it has been a journey, a long, not so long, in fact, but it has been a journey, an important journey.
Yeah.
So thank you. I think you are wonderful.
Yeah.
And your path.
And what also you said yes to, because I have had ceremony in initiating women. We had a women's circle, and you said, yes, I want to do it. So you actually came here to Lyngen and participate in this women's circle. And that was also a transformational long weekend, meeting a lot of women.
Oh, yes. I mean, excuse me, 12 women in Lyngen, far north. And we lived together for what is the in English? Two nights, 2 days and 2 nights. And I have never experienced in my life how 12 different women, but with the same intention of wanting the best for each other spiritually and also practically. I mean, you had a perfect choreography or directing the whole thing, if I can use that word, from what we should eat, where we should sleep, and to the gatherings, the spiritual gatherings, and it was very structured. It was structured, but it was also free. One felt free. I mean, at the same time, we were floating, together, and then we had the first night, and then the next morning it was a bit misty in the air. Do you remember?
Yes.
And we all dressed because we should have nice clothes on.
Yeah.
And this is in the very north, where you live, and we had woolen trousers, we had big coats, and then we had earrings and shawls, and we had both jewels and thick pullovers, etc. And then we went up, and then we came down to the water, the Jegervannet, and there was this big lavvo, and with the fire. And with you and Gun Evi, one of the shaman women, who started to
Drum.
singing. I shall never forget it. It was, it was, I think that was one of the strongest experience I have had in this. I have several, I have others also experienced Ann-Peggy, but this was the peak of this was a sort of the, up till now.
Yeah.
So that was a wonderful journey. And when we came
Yes,
back,
yeah. It
with
was
me,
an initiation of the soul living next level divinity. So of course when we do it, it's so emotional and it's so deep. It's like a resonance to our soul.
yes, to our soul, but also a deep connection to the what did I? It's a deep to Mother Earth,
Yeah.
a deep connection to the nature, a deep connection as I felt it was like the sound of the drum moved along the sea behind us, up against the mountains, which were behind the sea again. You know what I mean, this was a beautiful nature around us.
Yes.
So it was an awakening, an archaic, can I call it that? Archaic awakening. Altså arkeoppvåkning. And it was like awakening from something that has been there always, but was discovered through that drum, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing.
And actually, if we go to indigenous tribes and indigenous society, we know that they have done it for thousands of years. So it's kind of the natural way of doing it. So what we actually did, we just took our legacy from what we have done for so many years and kind of initiated us, because what we have done the last thousand of years kind of disconnecting. We have forgotten our legacy. So it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of reconnecting to our source, to our divine
Yes,
design.
yes, yes. And I think that all that we were there became with we were different people with
Yep.
different spiritual experience. Like me, he did have 1 year of experience. Some of the participants had years of experience.
More than 40 years.
Yes. So that was one. The whole course, the whole travel with the whole weekend with us together was an unique experience. Um, so I think it bonded us all.
It
We
did.
bonded, you know, and yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, I just want to, because this wasn't planned, but I work for the North, not only Norway, but also Norway, Finland, and Sweden. In the Sápmi area, we have
Yeah,
something ancient, and it goes to the indigenous legacy and
yeah,
inheritance.
yeah,
So
yeah,
actually, what happened one day before all the other you came, one came from Sweden, one from Finland. So we were the three of us, Norway, Finland, Sweden, represented one day before, and also they were the longest. They were the last to go. So we actually have a day before and also the
yeah,
whole Sunday. So it's like, wow, this was interesting. Not planned, but it was like, and these two women, they, you know them, and they
yeah.
are helping me to make resources and translate it into Swedish and Finnish. Because as you know, I have made two new courses, the Hero's Journey and the Spiral of Grace. And this is
I
kind
will.
of the best of all.
I will love to hear about the hero's journey because I heard some video, but I must say something.
Yeah.
First, you take that hero there, because you say Finland, you name you mentioned the Nordic countries,
Yep.
but in my opinion, your divinity is or your person or your divine capacity in my opinion, with my 1 year of experience, I would say that you deserve a bigger audience even or let me, this is my thought, take it or, or leave time. Just anyway, we are a little country, but we are a beautiful country,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
we are only 6 million people, and we are very self-sufficient as persons, and sometimes it can be a bit difficult to drag these Norwegian out of their cottages and things, but I think that your capacity, your divine capacity, because you are my teacher. I mean, I haven't had any other teachers, and I don't. I mean, is enough for me for now because it's so grand experience for me. But I think one of the reasons also why I think it would be okay to talk English, as I talked about, it is to you should reach, and you have to the global people, it's not the world, the globe, because it what you bring and the way you bring out your divine message, can I call it that?
Yeah,
Your
design,
divine
divine design.
thought, divine design is so unique, I think. I know that a lot of other people also work with the same, I guess, not the same, but similar ways of doing it. But I think that it's just a matter of time now before the.
But SigneLise, thank you so much for your kind words. And I have told you that in the next Divine Design podcast, it will be an episode of actually what you are said you want to see it more global. So I will introduce this in the podcast of 16th of November. And that is when I go global more than I have done. So it will come something new that actually isn't new. We did it 2000 years ago, but I will do it once more in a more modern way. And a lot of
Okay.
people will think, wow, is it Jesus? No, it is actually not Jesus, but it is something that happened 2000 years ago. So if you listen to this next podcast, I will mention it. And so it will come. So thank you for your kind words.
Well, I've thought about it a long time. It is on high time, I think, because I have lived 77 years. I've met a lot of people. I've heard a lot of stuff, also spiritual things, and with all respect for what I've heard, of course. But I have never ever felt that divine stroke, bang in my heart as when I saw you first time on YouTube. So
And I think it's funny because you said the first video you found about me, it's kind of, you said it was the dead hear you.
you mean that was the
Yeah,
very first?
you
That
said
was
that
strange.
was, yeah, and you
That
said,
was
wow, that really hooked me in.
no, because that was 3, 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Is it that video
Yeah,
you are thinking about?
yeah.
2, 3. Anyway, it was quite some years. I mean, I hardly knew YouTube. I mean, I'm a digital, loser, not anymore, but I have been. And so but I was switching on YouTube because I knew that. And suddenly I saw this woman. That was some years ago. And you started saying in the video there is no death. The dead ones see you, know you, see you. And I was just, I was, that also struck me as so comforting because it was very comforting. But you started the video with such a force that you catched me right away. And and then I never saw you again on the YouTube. And then suddenly I saw you in June last year, 2024. And then I contacted you at once because then you should have this course, Divinima Reset.
Yeah.
And after that, we have had contacts, telephone contacts, Zoom meetings, but we didn't, and I felt that we had a good connection.
We have, and you are such an inspiration for the other one in the group also, because you did it, you started this journey when you were 76. So that's also inspirational because someone start when we are a teenager or in the beginning of our young adolescence, in the beginning of 20 years, and someone 40. So this is so inspirational. So it's never too late. We can start when we are 80. We can start when we are 90. It's never too late. So because we have so many fixed thoughts, as you know, you have learned all of this in the course. And it's like, no, we cannot do it. I'm this age and I'm the wrong gender. I have family. I have work. We have so much kind of limitations. So, and what is very good with you, or what's so amazing, is that you act on what your heart is telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
actually a lot of it. There
Yeah.
is a lot I do not dare also, but now I think now I think that what the I don't have time to hesitate anything. I don't have the time to be afraid. I am afraid, but I do it anyway.
Yeah, just as this, you said, "Oh, English? No, I haven't spoken English
Yeah.
for 30 years."
Oh, 50 years or something. 40 years. No, so I was telling you in this, I haven't, my friend told me you don't speak so very well English, but I felt, no, I feel quite comfortable, thank you.
Yeah,
No, no way I'm going.
and that's so nice that you say it, because the Jantelov in the Scandinavian, the Nordic nation, we have so much Jantelov. Like you mustn't believe that you can do this. You mustn't believe. You must. So we have a kind of a subconscious law that tells us you mustn't believe that you can do something great, and that is
Exactly.
kind of what we evolved through. So the program Divinima Reset, it's kind of, because I know that we are programmed. I was the same when I died in 2013.
Yes.
And you
It's
actually asked about the health, the hero's journey, and that
I
is
just say to you now about dying, the personality, about, can you explain? It's so exciting to hear because I heard something in the video about the hero. What do you call it?
the hero's journey.
Yeah, the hero story. What is that?
Yeah, I want to, first of all, I want to say all human, all, wherever you live, wherever you are on their own hero's journey. So even if you do it in a family, you are a mother, if you are a waitress, or whatever you do, wherever you, all of us are on a hero's journey. And the hero's journey is the same as coming back to our essence. And I have worked for several years as a Gestalt therapist, and in when you work as a Gestalt therapist, one of the tools you have is the hero journey. But working as a Gestalt therapist, someone use it and someone don't use it. But I have used it because the hero's journey is actually the ego death.
Yeah.
The death of the ego, the program, the death of the Jantelov, as we spoke about. We are being small, because if you honor your source, your soul, your bigness, you cannot play small. Like I can't do that. I can't. It's like you are small in all you do. So the first we need to do in Scandinavia is to go through and let the ego die. So the hero's journey is letting the ego die, and then a lot of people want to, like priests and doctors. It's like we know the way to kind of the one right way to do it, and we are
Yeah,
so
yeah.
programmed. We all the curriculum and school system is so intellectual, but not from the body, as you say, Mother Earth. Do you listen to Mother Earth? What does Mother Earth say, and what is your soul contract?
Yes.
So the hero's journey is adjusting you to the real you, kind of behind all the mask, behind all the program. And even though I had worked as a therapist for very many years, I started to die. My old self started to die in 2013. And I speak of it also as the dark night of the soul. Because the dark night of the soul and the hero's
Yes.
journey is one, it is intertwined.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is intertwined. So for someone, it is can be a year. For someone, for me, it was 6 years. So I had no idea when I said, or I didn't say actually yes deliberately, because I prepared to die. I prepared to die physically. So if I had, yeah, I prepared to die physically because I took the what the doctor said to me, you will die. I took it literal, and my body signaled that I would die. So it can, and also going to the hero's journey, often we feel that we are in a death process. So that is
Exactly.
the hardest, and that's why I made the hero's journey, because when you have support and you know that, wow, I'm really going to a death process, but what's in the other side of the tunnel is my source, my soul. It's like the glamorous life I'm searching for, kind of longing for.
It is strange. I get associations
Yeah.
Because we have on the course, first of all, I heard the video, some which you sent me actually about the hero's journey, and it can be very painful
Yeah.
because wow, the intention is good, and you know, if you when you start with your courses, uh, there are different levels that you have to go through, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are teaching exactly the same in Divinima Reset.
Yeah.
First, you mentioned the archetypes, the
Yeah.
child, the saboteur, the prostitute, the whatever.
The survival archetype that lives in all of us.
Yeah. And then you told us in the course that we had to not get rid of it to be whole, to start the hero's journey. I have never heard the hero's journey before you mentioned it now, but yesterday. But it is somewhat the same thing. We have to unfold layers of fear, of resistance, and
Yeah.
I have been through that sometimes. You know, Ann-Peggy, I'm telling you now, that the resistance. It's oh, it's so. Why do I have to go through all this to reach where I actually want to go? But of course, the will is there, absolutely, and the wish to go there to get a higher level of spirituality,
Yeah.
even more, to get this layers, to pass the thresholds, every threshold.
Yeah.
So, but so I recognized a good deal of it when I was listening. From what I heard, I couldn't have understood it the way I did if I hadn't gone Divinima Reset, because it was just another way of putting it in a way.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, because when I made Divinima Reset, it's 13 modules, so it's kind of a whole year and it goes deep. And
Yeah.
even though in the Divinima Reset, I never mentioned the hero's journey,
No, no,
but
no.
it is actually the hero's journey. So even though I
Exactly.
didn't mention it, so now it's like,
Exactly.
okay, I know that someone don't want a 13 module program that is for a long time. So that's what I said, okay, I will make 2 separate module to line up to our soul, to our bigness. So that's why I made the hero's journey and also the spiral of grace. So both of these are kind of an expansion from the Divinima Reset, and to do a quick hack into your bigness.
Okay. Is that on English or in Norwegian?
Both.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So both of them are in English and Norwegian. And the hero's journey, it is more the language of a doctor, of a psychologist. So it is more kind of down to ground to science and so
Can you repeat exactly what you said now?
the hero's journey, the model of hero's journey is more for young people. It's more for the people that think in the society rules, because it is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it is not so spiritual. So it's more
No.
grounded, and it's more kind of
Okay.
not grounded, but it is less spiritual. So it's more into the how the psychologists think, how the doctors think, how we think in our society. So it is more related to our programming, to understand that
Yeah,
our
yeah.
ego needs to die.
Yeah, that is very, very wise. That's
Yeah.
very wise, because then because you use the language of the younger people. You put you put your level, try to understand their levels,
Yeah.
whether it's that they are, or and that is very wise to do
Yeah,
that.
so and then the spiral of grace is more spiritual. So if you are a more spiritual person, maybe the spiral of grace will be a better, but they are trying to do the same thing, but and both of them go deep, because in the hero's journey your ego has to die. And also in the spiral of grace, I also talk about the shadow side, because as you mentioned, we long to our spirituality. All of us long to our spirituality, our bigness. And one of the hardest thing for us is that we have to watch, we have to feel our shadow sides. You cannot come to your light if you don't recognize and
Exactly.
go
Yeah.
through the shadow sides.
And that's a very hard thing.
That's the hardest thing.
Yes, but it's stood. Is it that when you reach when you have reached a level where you can start building the hero's journey, does that mean that, is it so that we have our shadow sides, but we shall not get rid of it. We shall just place it where it belongs, so that we get, because we are not perfect people, can never be a perfect human being, but we have to be conscious of who we are with our good sides and bad sides. Is that
Yeah,
something?
when you resist it, when you hold it in your body, that's why we see so much pain, we see so much sickness. So when we meet trauma or hard thing, if we stop our energy system, because we stop it, we hold back emotion because it's sadness, it's trauma, it's pain, and we don't want to feel it. It gets stagnation in our body, and then the body repeat this stagnation inside, and what's happened, we become ill. So the hero's journey, when we go through the hero's journey, it is a journey to become healthy and wealthy, because you come more in balance.
That's good. That was very good. Healthy
Yeah,
and wealthy. Yeah, yeah.
actually. So when I the spiral of grace, the intention of that is to, because I meet so many people that go on the downward spiral into their health issue. They have deadly sickness, like the doctor said I will die, and a lot of people said this sickness is severe. It's like cancer and severe sickness, and their spiral is going downward, downward, downward. Even though they go to therapists, they go to doctors. The doctors is kind of cannot promise anything, and the spiral go downwards. And a lot of people have come to me and I said everything is going downward, and then I activated and the spiral go upward. And I have done it so many times. And then I had a ceremony, deep ceremony, and in this ceremony I said, you see what you have done. You have helped people to turn around their spiral going downward. Even they seek relief, they seek balance, they seek good health, but the spiral keep going downwards. And then I activate them and see, you can see it like this, because it's also about perspective and integrating the soul's journey and the hero's journey, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's when they started their upgoing spiral. So that's why this model of activating the spiral of grace, because then you turn upward instead of going downward.
Yeah, I haven't seen that video, and it's but is it, how do you do that? In a way, now I ask you from very
Okay.
not knowing. I haven't, but I think, is that some kind of the same thing as hero's journey?
Yeah,
So
it is.
why do you call it spiral?
Spiral of grace. Yeah,
Grace.
because you
What is in that word? What kind of uh, associations or
yeah, I can you because when we include our soul, our light, that is the biggest healer there is.
yeah,
Because we go to therapists and we go to doctors, and they don't speak the language of the soul. They don't speak the light language. Yeah. So if you are sick, the biggest healer in all of our life is to activate the light in us, and that is the source in us. So what I expand the perspective of the people that are there, so that they see with different eyes. They include their soul, they include the light, so they expand, because our mental programming is so limited. So when they see their life with new eyes, they can actually see that their health issue is an initiation to your next step, divinity.
yeah, I see. But do you do that in behandling, when you
Treatment.
treatment? Do you do that in treatment, or is it a course?
Yeah, what I have done, because a lot of people have come to me wanting to help because they are feeling helpless. I'm dying. The doctor has said that and that. So I have had one-to-one session with them, and also sending them guided meditation and sending them a lot of the research I have made. And then I thought, okay, I have done it so many times. I can put this into a program. So that's what I did. So
Yeah, I
both
see.
the
Yeah.
hero's journey I've done, Divinima Reset is kind of an expression of the hero's journey, and also
Yes,
activating the spiral of grace.
I
So
understand.
what
Yeah.
I have done one-to-one and guiding people, I have put in modules.
Exactly. And that is what you have when you make a module, which I have learned, then you have a lot, it's very structural. It is, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so blah, 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 video there, lydfil, what is that in English? Lydfil.
Sound meditation.
Soul meditation there and there. And I saw that. So that is what you have made with this, what
New
you do.
new module. Yeah, the journey of the hero and the spiral of grace.
The spiral of grace. So that, yeah, I understand that.
So it is the same as I have done in Divinima Reset, but this is even bigger. It is kind of more research because I know that you say, oh, it's so much one module. This is even more. So I give a lot because what I know that we experience the world differently, and someone is auditive, someone is visual. So
Yeah.
we need several tools. So what one of the tools that you said, wow, this was the best tool ever I met. And then another one said, well, this tool, I didn't recognize anything. So that's why I do a lot of tools, because one or two or three or four is like what resonates with us. So that's why I bring a lot of tools. And I know that if we want to awaken, this is, I will actually say the spiral of grace and the hero's journey is one of the best resources we have in 2025, 26. And I'm sure that a lot of other make similar resources, but we need to go deep. We need to go deep.
Yeah, yeah. No, I see, I understand.
And I want to mention one thing you said to me. You had such a good kind of structure when you were here and we had the initiation. Actually, what I said to you, what I do, I had a lot of things that I wanted kind of to teach you and to talk about. But what I did in all break is like surrendering. What now? What now? So I tune into your field and took every time what will benefit this group, what will benefit this group. So it wasn't so planned. It was actually a course from the heart. I let the divine flow come through me.
Yeah. But you see, Ann-Peggy, in choreography, in dance, in ballet, you get the choreography, you have to rehearse, but then you forget you forget the rehearsal and you just dance or you just flow.
That's
So
what I do.
exactly. So that's the perfect thing. So
And you can say it because you are a dancer and you have been a dancer for so many years. And I heard that, yeah.
So you have to prepare properly, and then you can leave the
Yep.
manuscript
Yep.
behind and be for us in
Yes.
the group. Are you going to have more groups like ours or similar to ours in the years to come for other people from other people from over the
Yes.
globe?
Yeah, I'm planning to do it in English because the area here, I have said that I compare it to Sedona because, as you have felt, that the energy is like everything. You are so supported by the mountains, by the lake, by the ocean. Nature in itself is like, wow. But I will do it differently because I have used a lot of time on you, and because I made the food, I did everything. I bought new beds, fridge, also, so it was a lot of thing doing it here, borrowing this house. So I will borrow a location that is even more upgraded than this, and make a co-creation with them and then offer it there. So I have a plan, and that will come in 2026. So I will do it in Norwegian and also in English. But then the cabin we rent, wow, that's another upgrade. So it is kind of, you are going the steps kind of.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the way it is. Even
And as you know, I have had a lot of course for many years, but we have been two, and it's just a year or two since she took it to her level and I took mine to mine level. So she only want to work with businesswoman, my partner, and I said I don't need to work with only business people. I can work with whoever who seek this divine expansion, their next step divinity. So I don't put that boundary. So that's why she took her concept, and I said, well, my concept is divine design. So that's why. So now I do it alone. I do all the kind of choreography, and that feels more. So it has been a process. So I have done this since my ego started to die in 2013. But now I do it all by myself, and then as you see, the other shaman drummer that was with me doing this initiation ceremony, I borrow she in. So that's because we had a deep ceremony, we had a fire ceremony, and we also have earth ceremony.
That's true, of course.
So do we want to transform into fire and air, because that is two elements of Mother Earth, or do we want to transform into Mother Earth and water? So kind of you could choose, and
both. I chose both.
Yeah, most of you chose both, actually. So and it is a big difference, and I won't go into it now, but when I did it in 2017, I also had both those kind of different, all the four elements as we use on Mother Earth. And to communicate with Mother Earth and listen to her and go into our divine rhythm and the Mother Earth's rhythm, this is kind of also what you learn in the Divinima Reset.
Oh yes, we have Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
We have this
Tree of life.
Tree of life, and which is very powerful, powerful
symbol, kind of.
Yeah.
And then we know that our branches reach the sky, and our roots is kind of connected together. All humans are connected together. So all of us are our Yggdrasil is a tree, and we are connected.
That is another association I get right now when you talk, because what we learn, I can only refer to Divinima Reset mostly, because that's what I know best or have inside here. And I had never thought that I had so many prejudices before I took this course. I was amazed and forskrekket. I thought, no, is it not possible? And you talk about the whole world. You talk all kind of people. Everybody are connected with each other. And really, and I do understand that. I do understand about the conscious above, and which that we all chooses our lives down here, and we are just here for some moments, some lives, and then we choose to go up to the common source, which is all of us. The common source is absolutely for everybody on this globe, and that is, I can understand. That was a completely new thought. I had
perspective, new perspective.
Exactly. And that is a wonderful thing when you first accept it. One has to accept it first, and it's something that everybody actually in this world would. I mean, people go and take divinity courses here because politicians, as I said, for politicians, if everybody could learn how to regard everybody as equals, regardless of what must be in this world, president or whatever, then we would have another world. And I know it sounds like a floskel, something. What do you call floskel in English?
I have no idea, because I don't use it in Norwegian.
It sounds maybe easy or something light, but it is so important, and that's what we learn in Divinima Reset.
And when you say this, I want to say another thing, because I have said yes to bring the new future system into form. So the way I teach Divinima Reset, the Spiral of Grace, the Hero's Journey, it is the future system. So I have started the future system. I have worked in the health industry and also with the priest and the theology, and I have worked in so many systems. And I saw that, I cannot continue in this because these are outdated. So I had to go out of the system, and then I said, okay, yes, this was kind of when I started to die in 2013, I was shown that I would make the new system, but I didn't believe it because I was so programmed with the Jantelov. So I saw it and I said, ha ha ha, I don't believe my own vision. Because because my programming was what?
Can I ask,
Yeah,
when you got that message in
yeah,
2013,
yeah,
how is it for an ordinary, not, you are unique, but still a human
yeah,
being.
yeah, yeah.
And how is it for you to get such a big, great, grand message seriously? How
Yeah,
did it feel? Because when you are programmed with the
yeah,
system that we all are programmed with here in Norway also,
yep,
how is it suddenly to get a message
like that.
which, because to only to get that message is a responsibility? And
Thank you for
how
asking.
did that actually feel?
Thank you for asking me that. And I will be honest, as I say, this is important for me. I didn't believe in my own vision, as I said. I said, this is too big for me and I cannot do it. It's like, what, am I losing myself? So this was, I think it was a month before I really went deep into the dark night of the soul. So I had this vision kind of, and I said, yeah, I want it. I actually said, yeah, I felt I want it, but how can little me do? Because I was so programmed with the Jantelov. It was like I was so small, I couldn't do anything. All I did was kind of so small. So I was so programmed. So I had the vision. It's like, wow, grandiose and big. And ha 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 ha. Yeah, that was a nice vision, but I don't believe in it. So the thoughts when my programming came, it's like, okay, I think it was a nice version, but I don't believe in it. And then my ego started to die and die and die. I know that I will do it.
Exactly, because when that part of you die, it's a dramatic word, but
Yeah.
when that when it's transformed into something else,
Yeah.
then there is room for the greatness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and when I said yes to it, even though I didn't believe in it, I had no idea that I would go into 6 years with Dark Night of the Soul.
The Dark Night of the Soul, we have talked about that before, and every time I hear that mentioned, you have mentioned it quite a lot. I've heard it a couple of times in, I don't know where, but I have heard it. And it is a very dramatic sentence, the dark night of the soul. So I wonder if people, I'm still curious a little bit. What is it a big subject to talk about, or
No, actually, what happens? What we have done for until we start the Dark Night of the Dark Night of the Soul. What we have done for several years, the programming, it doesn't function anymore. It's like we are doing it, and then we made resistance. So all what we have done suddenly it doesn't work anymore. So it's like we are hitting the wall all the time. It's like, what? I have done this for 1,000 times. Why doesn't it work anymore? So the way we think collapse. I remember, I will say one simple thing. I was in the veranda with my husband and I had a list because I had so many lists, so to do, having 5 children and a lot of to do. And this was a Saturday morning and I spoke with my husband, I will do that. I went through the list to do this Saturday. And then he was called into work and he had to be away the rest of the day. And I started to cry. All my day collapsed because I couldn't stick to the plan because I had to have it done, kind of.
Yeah.
And I started to cry and cry. Actually cry for real. And then what should I do now? And what I did, I went onto the mountain doing nothing of what I planned. So my program collapsed completely. And this was just a small thing. So this was in the midst of the Dark Night of the Soul. It was in the beginning. It was actually in the beginning. But this was one step. And I remember because I started to cry. And normally I don't cry because I'm the strong one. I was very masculine into 2013. So I had a masculine identity. I did so many things because I was a warrior. We are programmed in the northern part of Europe to be warriors, and I was a warrior too, having 5 children, 2 of them very much ill, so I have fought for their survival, for their lives, and so my masculine identity started to collapse, the control pattern, because all the control pattern, it just disappeared. So I have lived with control for 40 years. And when the control patterns kind of just went away and it didn't work anymore, it was pain. It is actually pain.
That's where we come to the dark night of the soul.
Yes.
Now you started crying, and your list in the course of hours collapsed. So
Yeah.
you got released in a way,
Yeah.
but the dark, or not at the same time, the dark nights of the soul can last. It reminds me of the hero's journey
Yep.
somewhat.
Yep.
Um, that because you have talked about how painful is going through the dark night of the soul
Yep.
when it comes to release of all the layers that we have. Is that something that is?
Yeah, and actually, what you have learned in Divinima Reset, and that I also use in both the new model, is that we have to release our ancestor patterns, as you know, because
Yeah, yeah,
when all the ladies where you were here, well, I worked with you for 2 months before you came, so I worked deep, and it was so much loss, it was so much violence, it was so much darkness, because all of you and myself included, we have carried our ancestor from more than hundreds years ago, and it is so deep in our bone structure. So we have to transform the patterns that are
yeah,
in our bone structure. So it is deep, very deep. It is trauma, deep trauma, so deep violence, so deep poverty. Yeah, it is. It is deep. So the shadow side, this is the most important, because I speak a lot in Divine Design podcast about traveling consciousness and all the light and all the grace. It is amazing. But just as important is to go and shed our shadow side, to look what we have, how we are programmed, all the trauma, all the wars, all the fighting, all the old programming, one way of thinking. So it
yeah.
is just as important, because you cannot expand in your light if you don't go through the darkness, the shadow side, because they are we live in polarity, as you know, duality, and you have to include both of them.
Yeah. And it can be a long, long journey to go backwards and to transform all the patterns that we have carried with us, not only from 100 years ago, but maybe from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds years ago. So it's a heavy work sometimes
Yeah.
to transform all the pattern we have inherited from our forefathers
And,
and mothers,
yeah, ancestors.
ancestors.
And I want to honor you, SigneLise, because you said yes to do this ceremony, because several people have taken the Divinima Reset, but not all of you, just some few of you took this ceremony this weekend or 3-4 days. And this is much more significant than a lot of people know, because then we are actually saying yes to our soul. When I did it in 2017, I was guided to do it, and I kind of laughed because it was a ceremony. But what actually happened when I said yes to transform and do this ceremony that I did in 2017, my life radically changed, because I really opened up to the grace, the light. So it is so significant. So I'm so honored to see what you have gone through, and I know that your life will change even more dramatically than it has done just the first year you have been in, because you said yes to this ceremony, and we have a community now, and I know that all of your lives will transform radically.
Well, it has already changed quite a lot, spiritually, not in the
Yeah.
daily life with family and stuff, but spiritually, yes. It has been before and after, of course.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
reminded of one thing, and I want to bring it in, because I offered you a regression. You had never been into regression therapy.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting. First of all, you had an operation several years ago, and I sent you healing. And the healing I did to you, it was one of the most special healing for me. I have done thousands of healing, but this was very special. I don't know if I should just see can I tell what I met? Not you, but the
You
color.
can, is there any more to be afraid of? We go all.
Well, it was it was so strange for me because I had never experienced the healing like that. Because when I healed you, I went into a red zone. Everything was red. I was red. It was everything was red. It's like, what? And it was kind of not earthly. It was not on this planet. So I don't want to go further, but it was out of this dimension, and it was big, and it's like, wow, I had never felt red. And it was so powerful. It's like, wow, all this red power. Wow. And in that, and when we had the regression, we met it again, and we were supposed to go to past life. But what actually happened for you, you went into future life.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. The first regression was in future life.
Yeah. Both, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was both. Yeah, it was both. Yeah. But to do it for the first time, normally when I have clients, they go, it's like the regression past life. But you, for the first time, kind of just, yeah, it was pretty deep to do it the first time, just past and future. But as I have said to you,
An extraordinary experience, which was I had absolutely confidence, and that is a rare thing for me to have. I mean, I have it to my family, of course, but because you cannot attain or you cannot reach your lives before or ahead if you do not have the complete confidence to the person who
guide you.
the regression. That is very important.
Yeah.
So that was a thank you. It was a very special. I
Yeah,
guess I will do it again.
yeah, and you had meet because you had meet in different other surroundings. You have seen picture that reminded you of something red, and when we did the regression, kind of it came up again.
Yeah.
So that is what because another client I had for 15 years, she feel the smell of smoke, and no one else felt the smoke. But this was her past life, so it wanted to be kind of seen. She need, or her soul wanted to reveal what has been. So it is kind of, if it's picture, if it's smell, if it's, so it is, the soul is speaking to us in so many layers.
Yeah. Yeah. And what shall I say? It happened what happened, and you know what happened, I know what happened. So it was a very strong or powerful experience, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and even
that
though we
red
don't,
was very logical to say that. It was quite logical when we had a regression afterwards, some weeks later.
yeah.
That's
And
coordinated
and actually in the Hero's Journey, the program, I have made a guided meditation to regression and future. And it's deep hypnosis. So you go into hypnosis, and you go in your past life, and you go in your future life, and now, so you kind of combine it, because you find your gift, you find your strength. The Hero's Journey is kind of, how can you live your best life, because all of us have gifts. We have soul gifts.
Yeah, and we are, you started this conversation by telling us that everybody had their own hero.
Yep.
We have a different ways of reaching or discovering it.
Yep.
But we all have it, and that is very comforting. I think, because then we can, I know, everybody knows that I do have a hero here. It's just you have to do what must be done to discover it, and then we can start building from that level when we find it.
Yeah.
So that is a hope. It's very much hope in that in that thought, or that.
Knowing, or yeah. And when you speak, I'm reminded of actually, I will add 2 links to this podcast. One of them is the Hero's Journey, your Hero's Journey, kind of showing how our unique hero's journey is, and the other one is going from belief to knowing, because what I want to teach you is to live from knowing instead of believing, because believing is very much religious. We go into religion, we believe in something. But what I want to show you is that you can live as knowing, because you know who you are. You know your soul, you know that you have past life, future life, or life beyond this planet. And living from your knowing, I live from my knowing, then you don't fight, you respect other, you have reverence for life, you have reverence for all the beautiful things that are on earth. So I want all to come to this state of being, knowing who they are.
And that is what it sounds so logical. It puts things in the right place when you say that. And I think about this journey, hero's journey. Then finally, when everybody at some point in the future find their own heroes and can start building, each and every one, 8 million, billion people on this earth, then there will be peace. Then there will be cooperation. Then then there will be something that it shouldn't be too hard actually, if everybody just, but somehow in the future that will be according to the ones who preach or convey those messages.
Yes, we are going against.
So new world, as you have been talking about lots.
Yeah, someone talk about the new earth. Someone, I call it becoming homoluminous, because when we know our essence, we are homoluminous, and it means that we have integrated more light. And one aspect of the spiral of grace and the hero's journey is detox, because we need to detox. We have so many thoughts that are not helpful, emotional stuff. So I will also make a module that only go into detox, because it is so important. As I told you yesterday when I asked for this podcast, I said that I ate 3 days ago. I ate taco sauce, and a taco is something I like taco, and I haven't eaten taco sauce for several years, and I got sick from eating taco sauce because my energy system is so clear. It is so much light. So when I now buy taco sauce from a regular supermarket, my body said, wow! So I got sick, and it wanted to poop. It was all, it wanted to get rid of what I ate. So what I did, I actually went in my sauna blanket, sauna, to just detox it out. Because it actually was pain to my body. I had to detox it, and it's like, wow. So now I need to make my own taco sauce from pure ingredients.
And that is, yes, it's very logical when you are used to eating. I mean, one detox is also being very conscious of what you put into this body,
Yep.
and that is more important also spiritually, much more than we have been thinking before. Before we have just been thinking, okay, my body gets more well, the skin gets so and the hair, but it's actually påvirker,
influence. Yeah, it influence.
Influence, yeah, the way our spiritual way, with the way our mood, our mind, depression, and bad food.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And detox. So it is the same. You have to detox from your. I wrote this reflection from our meeting in the north.
Ceremony. Yeah.
I will have to. What should I do even more to embrace the spiritual even more? Oh yes, I have to be conscious of every word that comes out of my mouth, every thought that flies out of my brain, because everything is energy.
Yep.
And it will affect people around us, will automatically receive what we think.
Yep.
And that is what we have to detox. I mean, that is a kind of detox of the whole system, both physically and emotionally and mentally. And
yeah. So dark night of the dark night of the soul, actually what it is a detox. It is detox from the mental squatter, is from the emotional build up, is from all the low energy, if you call it like that. We see it's so many people that are fatigued, they have chronic sickness, And it is because of the mental squatter, it is the emotional, and also the food we eat. And we know that
Yeah.
we cannot go to supermarket and buy proper food because it's kind of profit, 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 profit.
Mm.
So it is, as you say, we become more conscious. What do we buy? I buy most ecologically, and the
Yeah.
food I eat, it is very helpful for me because I know that everything is energy. So this
Yeah.
body, I treat it like the temple it is, and I give it fruits and berries and lots of vegetables that are ecologically grown
Mm.
up. So it has a lot of vitality in it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's the best. It's expensive though
Yeah,
for
it is.
people, but we are lucky here up in Norway that can afford that kind
Yeah.
of food.
And at the same time, when you say that, we see that the poorer are getting poorer and the richer are getting richer, as we have seen for so many years. And also now we see it in Scandinavia and the Nordic people. So the politicians are making even bigger difference between the poor and the rich. So, but also when we talk about the ego death and also the darkness of the soul, when we are pushed into the lowest, that is when we find our strength. So the politicians
Exactly.
are
Yeah.
doing, when you see Donald Trump and Putin
Are
and
doing us a
also
favor.
they are actually doing us a favor, even though we don't see it. They are pushing us to our lowest, to our kind of now is enough. Now is we find our power. We get angry. We get the inner power that, because I was afraid of my anger, and that was so much power in my anger, and I was pushed so low through the mafia for 3 years. And after 3 years having this mafia on my back, I thought, now it's enough. You have ruined my life. And then when I went through my anger for 3 days, after that, my heart opened. Wow, radically. It's like, wow, this love. So I had for 3 days to go through this anger, and I wasn't angry at person. I just felt it through my body and honored it, and I didn't resist it anymore.
Mm.
So I have walked the path myself, and that is important. You cannot teach anything if you haven't felt it or gone through the journey yourself.
Exactly. No. What a bit exaggerated maybe that they give. I should have taken that. I take that back. But there is some truth in it, because when it will become a reaction, I guess, to a deep reaction, which we don't see quite yet, but
Yeah, I know. And it's that, well, they are ruining our life. The politicians are ruining our life. Yeah, we can see it that way. And as we spoke about, when you change perspective, they are pushing us to the rabbit hole, kind of to the darkest, deepest. And then we activate our inner strength, because we are seeking so much outer power and strength. But we have to go inward and really connect to our soul. There are no stronger power than our soul. Our soul knows, and we live from knowing instead of believing. So this is the
oh,
shift. Living as Homo luminous, you live as knowing. You know who you are. You know your source. And the old paradigm is believing, believing, believing. No, that's the old history. We don't need to believe anymore. We know.
yeah. Oh yes, amen. Yes, but that is seriously, that is the goal, and that will happen. We are on the right path, even if we can't see it yet.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's really what I believe too. Yeah.
And I
Well,
just
and
want
I believe that I will know one day. Yeah.
And I really must say thank you, and honor you for the path you have done, because it is deep, and you have started it, and you are such an inspiration for all the people that have walked the same path as you. So, and also you are so sporty to do this interview in English, even though you haven't spoken, as you say, in 50 years. So thank you for being the inspiration and doing it, because you are doing it for your children, your grandchildren, your friends. So thank you, very deep. And I have, yeah, it's big what you have done, SigneLise.
Well, it is an honor for me, Ann-Peggy, to be here. So thank you. Big thanks to you too. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for being on this podcast.
Thank you also.
Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another Heaven on Earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.